Greetings, my name is Sal Metzger, and welcome to X Games 9 live coverage. It's a beautiful night here in Aspen, Colorado, the Monte Carlo of the mountains, and the wealth, well, we're spreading it. 5 gold medals were awarded this afternoon. We've got 8 still up for grabs. Snowboard Women's Superpipe coming up, but first, all eyes are on Brian Deegan, one of the biggest names in Moto X, looking to make one of the biggest comebacks in X Games history. Last year, Brian Deegan, the worst crash ever, failing the militia twist, breaking his femur and shattering both wrists. However, his drive remains intact. Moto X prelims are next, and Cameron, the big question, is this going to be the same Brian Deegan that we saw a year ago?
Well, Sal, to be honest with you, I think it's a better Brian Deegan. He has taken the injury and started working harder. The training and the riding. Sitting right next to him is the Ox. They have been working together, going big. Actually, today, Deegs was the first rider to come out and check out the course, and he said he came here to win. And right now, he is with our reporter, Jamie Little.
Brian, what was it like going out there and hitting that ice jump for the first time since your crash last year?
Actually, it was pretty cool to know that I came back from such a bad injury, and it was a cool feeling to get back out there and get at it, you know?
How is this weather going to affect your plan tonight?
Right now it's a little snowy, so probably going to back it down to probably the B game, you know, and kind of just get through the prelims and get into the finals and get ready to drop the ball and then.
All right, snow or no snow, we're going to take it away, Cam and Tess.
Brian Deegan is definitely ready. B game probably means backflip variations, and Deegan definitely knows the price you pay when things go wrong. Speaking of Moto gone bad, just a short time ago in practice, X Games first timer Jim McNeil had to pull the ripcord on a backflip.
McNeil just didn't get the pop off the takeoff, and that's what you have to do to make the backflip work. So he under-rotated, then bailed off. The good news is he transitioned beautifully down the landing. The bad news is the bike came right after him, and the rookie ends his first X Games wandering on out.
Well, the good news, he walks away. The bad news is he is a scratch. Jim McNeil will be back with us in the future. I can guarantee that. That is the course these riders will be tackling. And first up, the smallest rider in our competition, the first time on the snow, but he is one bad dude. Dustin Miller's in the house.
Dustin Miller, he's a little dude, but you know what? He's a great rider. He's a great technician. It'll be interesting to see what Miller does, because there has been talk of a secret body varial he's been pulling in his home pit back in Gardnerville, just south of Reno, Nevada.
Well, if he were to do the body varial, I expect a smaller jump. He's lining up for the 90-foot. Let's see what he's got.
One-hander to one-hander, Superman seat grab, and he does a little bit of an Indian air. He kicks the feet there. That's quite a technical trick, but again, a big gap. And Dustin's first time, this is his first time in the Winter X Games jumping on ice.
And he does have a medal from the Summer X Games previously, but Tess, I think what he needs to do is, if he's going to do big tricks, he needs to do bigger combinations. This is very similar.
I think what he really needs to do, not just bigger combinations, but also bigger extension. Dustin can get all the way off the back of the bike, but if you look at him here, he's kind of tentative. He gets a little bit of a scissor kick in there, but not a great jump for Dustin Miller.
Well, let's see what the judges have to say. It's always tough to be the first rider out of the gate. And, you know, I think that Dustin did a pretty good job being the first guy there.
He has definitely done a good job. It's a great jump, and especially his first time here at Winter X Games 9.
And there is your score coming in at 85-20. So a good place to set. It's a score of 1 to 100. Your best jump of 2 are going to count. So that's something you really got to pay attention to. They get one throwaway jump.
Here up in the gate right now, Brian Dowdy out of Oklahoma City. He actually lived in California for a little while and moved back. Dowdy's the youngest kid in this competition, and he's kind of sketchy on those landings sometimes, but a very limber kid and has some pretty fun tricks when he gets out there.
He is the IFMA Rookie of the Year last year, and he gets a little bit of a swirly start. Let's see if he can get one of his big bar tricks off.
Wow. Big kiss of death for Brian Dowdy. He tried to get himself all of the way vertical there. The feet way way above the back tire of the motorcycle. And again, a great start for Brian Dowdy. Someone else who has never seen these icy conditions.
Another thing to talk about these icy conditions is they're waiting in there in the snow, not able to ride around. How's the extension, Tess?
Extension is good, but the legs are not together, and he's slightly twisted right at the bar level. That's not the best I've ever seen out of Brian.
Well, definitely a good jump for the rookies. First time coming out to Winter X Games, and I expect a lot of big things from him in the future, but I think this is going to be a tough field for him to play in. We'll see if it takes the combination of Dustin Miller down and Tess. It doesn't.
81.4. I think this is a pretty fair score for Dowdy. Let's see how he does in his second run.
Remember, it's the best of two, and right now, let's take a look at the battlefield the riders will be going out on. Three choices: 45 feet, 75 feet, and 90 feet. Jamie Little is on the course with more information right now on this big iceberg.
Well, Cameron, I'm ascending the ice steps now on the 45-foot kicker. Now, we hope to see Chuck Carruthers pull off his famous body burial here that we saw at Summer X Games. Now you can see all three jumps. Riders have three options here. Look at the biggest one, the 90-foot gap, guys. You can put a two-story house in front of that landing and still not be able to see it. And remember, they are landing on solid ice. Cameron, we're going to have some fun tonight.
I certainly hope so. Already having a good time. A couple riders already hitting it up the first time. The visibility will be a little bit of a factor. And also, the powder on the takeoffs. As the snow falls, it's going to be hard for them to plow. They really want ice. And speaking of which, what are the keys to success here, Tess?
The keys to success in winter ice jumping. First, bring your poker face. If you have a secret trick, don't let anyone know what you're holding. Then what you have to do is up the ante. Bring in something new, like this huge backflip that Ox did last year. And finally, you gotta go all in. Commit to the line, commit to the jump. Commitment, 120%.
And you saw Chuck Carruthers there. That was his gold medal jump from the X Games in the summer. Best trick. Ryan Renner, a rider that knows about commitment, but at times he's not willing to just step that extra yard. Yes, he has the backflip, but I don't think we're going to see it from him tonight, are we?
I think what we're gonna see is probably a whip. And here we go up to 75. Well, it's a pretty nice whip, but I don't think it's a big enough trick in this sort of best trick competition to really dominate the field, Cam.
For the fans at home, I want to explain. The whip was the first ever trick done on a dirt bike. Ronnie Renner does it arguably better than anybody. On the ice, on the takeoff, it's very hard because what you do is you carve your takeoff, right, Tess? He's not really able to do it here where it's so slippery. Great whip, though.
It is a great whip. I mean, he gets inverted on that whip. One of the concerns Ronnie had, and he told me, was that the back tire is so much heavier with all of those cold cutter screws in there to get the traction on the ice. But Ronnie, beautiful, textbook Ronnie Renner whip.
Solid, and now we will wait for the score to come in. Remember, we have 5 judges plus a head judge. We have professional riders, former professionals up top doing this.
Wow, nice, 82.8. Obviously the judges up there respect the whip, and there are 3 of the 5 judges are actually active riders that are injured right now, so good for Ronnie.
A nice job by Renner, but it is Dustin Miller with the combination that has the best score so far. Don't forget, a possible 360, maybe a body barrel. Big jumps to come when we come back.
Best trick. Deegan. Carruthers. 3 jumps, 2 wheels, 1 jam. Lift off.
Remember this, the best always leave with more than they came with.
Winter X Games 9, live from Aspen, Colorado, is brought to you by Right Guard Extreme. Extreme protection for extreme situations. Taco Bell, proud sponsor of the 2005 Winter X Games. New Edge Advanced, refresh your shave. And Mountain Dew, drink up, throw down.
And we are back at Moto X Best Trick, and guess what, people at home? If you're not here, you're one of the few 25,000 people. Today's attendance, a new one-day Aspen record, and Brian Deegan waits for his first of 2 runs. Remember, he was the gold medalist just a couple of years ago. Last year's big crash took him out. We'll see what happens this year, and another rider not afraid to throw it down, who I think we're going to be seeing hitting the 90-footer, is a rider with some of his own unique style, but all the other riders love to watch him ride. Drake McElroy.
He's got great style on and off the bike. Drake, another guy out of the Reno, Nevada area. Let's see what he has off the big footer, the 90-footer.
And the combo goes for the one-handed sea grab and then lets go for the rock solid. And did you see how he drifted away from the motorcycle? That's a big trick. He had huge extension, but did it look like this gets you get back on, Tess?
I don't know if he was comfortable getting back in. Metz looks kind of concerned sitting in there. Let's take a look at what Drake does here. He floats back up the bike for the one-hander, and then both hands up for the rock solid, but he almost goes over the top. Oh my Lord.
It looked like he was rolling down the windows, is what we say when people are falling away from their motorcycle. They have a tendency to spin the arms, and just great big extension from Drake, and no stranger to big tricks. And look how far down the landing he goes. Man, it looks like he went over 100 feet there.
That was a huge trick. He's well over 100 feet there off the 90. One of the problems was guys getting traction into the 90-footer. No problem for Drake. Let's see what the judges think of that huge trick.
Remember, Dustin Miller leads with an 85.21. And oh, there we go.
Nice, 86.80. Knocks his buddy Dustin out of the lead. That was a massive trick and very, very well deserved for DMC.
All right, well, good job by Drake. Let's check in right now with Jamie Little, who's got a little bit more on the last 2 Winter X Games champions.
That's right, Cameron. We are going to have a new X Games gold medalist this year. Unfortunately, Caleb Wyatt. He was attempting a backflip just a few days ago and broke his leg. Unfortunately, he's not here. I know he's speedy recovery. In the meantime, Mike Metzger is here. He is sidelined as well. Mike, yesterday they told you could not ride. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, the medical decided since it's only been 8 weeks from my injury in Switzerland, it's better to wait it out. He says for a muscle injury like that, being pulled off of my pelvis, it would be wise to wait like 12 weeks. So it's cool. I'm glad that we're here having a good time, and I get to help these riders out. I've been trying to keep the course as good as possible because right now the key is traction, and you know, with this fresh snow laying on top of the ice, it takes away from the traction. So
crazy Mike Metzger is going to be with us all night tonight and tomorrow night, so we'll be checking in with him. Cam?
Gotta love Mike Metzger. And hey, don't forget, tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern on ABC, the Miami Heat take on the Houston Rockets. See 2 of the most dynamic duos in the NBA meet up. It's Shaq versus Yao, Wade versus McGrady. Then on ESPN at 6:30 Eastern, Michael Redd and the Milwaukee Bucks look to avenge an early season home loss to LeBron James and the division rival Cleveland Cavaliers. NBA Sunday on ABC and ESPN. And right now, we got freestyle motocross. In case you're scared at home, just peek through your fingers a little bit and check it out. One of the scariest guys in the sport. He can go big, and he can be a little scary to talk to in the pit sometimes. You know, he gives me that hard look. It's Bo Bamberg.
Bo Bamberg's a very sober guy. He lives up in the Northwest. He doesn't get a lot of practice in because, like you said, it's always raining up there this time of year. But he is so consistent and so big. Heading for the 75, what's he got?
Bamberg going for the rock solid, double grabbing, throwing the legs up, but you know what? Bamberg is a guy that has the flip very down, so the conditions may be playing a factor. You see the soft snow he's riding through there, Tess. Is that why we're not seeing the backflip from Bo?
It could be why, but he also could be playing it safe and trying to figure out what everybody else had. Look at that shot above the bike, the rock solid. He and the bike are detached. That's crazy things to do. He comes down the landing very smooth. Like we said, smooth, consistent. That is Bo's trademark.
I don't think it's going to be enough, though, to bump him up over McElroy, who had great extension and the combination mixed in. Remember, pro riders are sitting on top judging. Right now, Drake has that 86-81 test. Will it be enough?
I don't think it's going to be enough. Be very surprised. No, 83.2 still puts him in 3rd position right now. Good place to be.
So the 2 boys from Reno on top, McElroy and Miller. And hey, Deegan's always the tough guy, getting set to face his demons and tackle the jump that landed him in the emergency room last year. Brian Deegan will be coming up right away. And you're seeing Brian Deegan on Buttermilk Mountain. We are in Aspen. We're receiving braving some of our average 300 inches of snow they get here every year, and Brian Deegan getting set to go. But right now, you're looking at Bamberg, who's currently sitting in third place. A big rock solid, double grab, let go, get back on the motorcycle. Then you're going to take a look at Dustin Miller, who's currently sitting in second place with a decent combination. But so far, the biggest combo, although we haven't seen backflips or 360s yet, McElroy sits on top of the leaderboard, and he is the guy Brian Deegan is looking at bumping up. Brian Deegan, the only Moto X athlete to be at all 4 Winter X Games last year. The Iceberg came out on top. Will Deegan do the 360? Everybody stand up and watch this.
I guess the only way last year could have been worse is if I would have died. That's it. Straight up. It's like falling out of the ski lift going about 40 miles per hour onto ice. There's no way I was going to walk away. I broke my femur down the middle, split it in half in 4 pieces. I broke both my wrists in a couple spots, and I lost 2 pints of blood. This is not reality TV, this is the real deal, you know what I'm saying? I think I was pushing too hard to just, I don't know, just to escalate the sport. Right when I got hurt, I know people counted me out. They're like, oh, he's out of the game now. Well, that's weak. 6 months later from my injury, I think a lot of riders would have probably still not even been riding from that injury. And my goal for Summer X was to say, I'm back.
Let's see what he can do here.
And pulling the 360 over the 80-foot jump was the first time I've done it on dirt since my crash.
His body is not 100%, but he just landed a 360 at Summer X.
That was the biggest test of will I've ever had. So much relief, so much confidence came back to me. That just made me a better rider. I want to win Winter X, which is a huge redemption for me to say I'm back in the game. That's it. I mean, straight up. I will think twice this year about doing something stupid, but I'm going to win. I'm going to go to Winter X to win.
And Brian Deegan knows how to win. The question is, we haven't seen any of the big tricks, maybe because of the snow and the conditions. Will we see a 360 or a backflip from Brian Deegan, a guy that never shies away?
He said he landed 10 360s this week at home on dirt, but this is not dirt. This is the ice demon that bit him last year. I can't imagine what's going through his head, man.
Let's see what he's got.
Wow, nice backflip, textbook from Brian. I'm sure he feels great after that flip.
Something really to point out, in practice, only 2 riders did backflips. Brian was one of them, and you saw there a perfect backflip, but you heard the motor revving very hard. Now, we saw Jim McNeil's crash earlier in the show. There's not a lot of pop to that lift, partially because of the snow that's falling in and filling in the belly. Is it just really tough for them to negotiate?
I think maybe not getting enough pop. Brian gives that rev, he called it a panic rev, because the back tire spinning will actually help you to come around, as it did there. But look at the snow falling on this course. It's amazing that these guys are even out riding, and here they are, backflipping 220-pound motorcycles.
And you see Brian twisting a little bit off the face, actually drifting to the right. It's really tough to see the lines going in, he was telling me, so sometimes you cross-rut just a little bit. That's a huge, dangerous situation. Deegan rolling down, saluting the fans, and he's definitely one of the heavy hitters of this sport. And right now we talk about who is leading. Drake McElroy had the lead, and
nice.
Brian Deegan going to the lead.
Brian is a happy, happy man, and Metz congratulating him there. Brian's just got to feel great, and as do we all. We're all friends here in this business, and to see Brian come back into Winter X and pull a trick that big, great night.
The question now is, will we see a 360 in his second run? Will he try to better that? We'll see where he stands. Also, top 6 moving on to the final, and right now, Jamie Little's with Brian Deegan.
Brian Deegan, huge monkey off your back. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, man, a lot of things went through my mind before I hit the jump. I kind of get some flashbacks sometimes, but you know what? My love is dirt bikes, and if I'm not out here jumping, I'm not living, so I'm stoked.
We're stoked for you. However, next up is your boy Ox. What are we going to see from him?
Yeah, man, me and Ox, all the boys, been practicing a lot for this event. He came with his A game, and it's going to be business right now. And he's going to go step it up and huck a flip, do it militia style.
Militia style, take it away, Cam.
All right, so Brian Deegan scoring a 90-20. A great score for Brian Deegan, but maybe not enough to hold down the lead over Jeff Cargola. 25,000 fans are looking on right now, and this is nervous time for me, Tess. I mean, I'm good friends with all these riders, and what's he doing out on the outside of the run? And I know it's been breaking down in the middle.
You know, I'm never quite sure. And as you said, Jeff, I mean, this kid is like your son. You spend so much time riding together. He's riding in some kind of Levi's, I think. He hangs out with the guys from Lost. Here he is in a pair of jeans riding in the Winter X Games.
He spends a lot of his off time surfing, and it looks like he's going to be carving into the line. It's a good thing he does some surfing. We'll see what Ox has. I think he's coming with the backflip, maybe a variation to try to take the lead.
Yes, gets the one hand up. Beautiful backflip. Really, really interesting the way he got into the 75-footer there. Could be that Ox now moves into first place above his boss, Brian Deegan.
The boss, the top henchman there. I mean, the bad man. Brian Deegan's been training Ox, and I wonder if he's thinking, maybe I shouldn't be helping this kid out so much, but Ox coming with a great trick. Now watch, he does the backflip, but Tess, he does the one-hander very late after he's already knowing he's coming around.
He knew he was going to land right there. The hand comes up, though, pretty convincingly. Gets it back on. Light. He lands smoothly on the downside there. That's a great trick for Ox. I think a bigger trick is going to come in the second round.
I think for sure we've seen the C-grab backflip from Ox. He may be saving it until the final. We're waiting for the score. Remember, Brian Deegan has a 90-20, so 90-21 would put him in the lead. What do you think? Is he going to get it?
Wow, 90-40. He's in first place, but barely.
Well, the Ox taking the top spot. You actually see Brian Deegan's dad laughing in the background. Ox throwing you the number one. This is how they're stacking up right now, and Ox is the man who looks like he's on a mission. The militia had the leaderboard scary for everybody else.
Moto X best trip. The sky is the limit, or is it? 2004 X Games champ Chuck Carruthers, well aware, goes twice as nice on ice. Hang on tight.
Welcome back to Winter X Games 9, and that is the Ox, Jeff Cargola, who currently leads Moto X Best Tricks. The man in the bubble, however, is Ronnie Renner. 6 move on to the final. This is what the riders need to beat if they want to get into that final tomorrow night. Right now, we were supposed to have Twitch, Jeremy Stenberg riding. He came in with an injured wrist and an injured thumb, throws the thumbs up. He had some problems on some of the landings in practice, re-aggravating the thumb. You see him there with some ice on it. He is a scratch from the event. Bummer for him, but one of his teammates, one of his buddies, Dane Kinnaird, coming all the way from Australia, the only international rider in this field here tonight.
And Dane Kinnaird had some problems with his bike earlier in the day. It was not jetted properly, the carburetor was not set up, so he was not getting enough speed and traction, but he's hitting the big 90-footer right now.
Comboing up. He goes up with the McMetz, goes back for the C-grab. He didn't really get either trick that good. He didn't have that good of extension. And one thing I do want to point out about Dane is he hasn't done a trick on a dirt bike since August of last year because of an injured right foot.
There we see him, does the McMetz over the bars, tries to come back, but there's no extension there whatsoever. He actually didn't even know what he was going to do until this morning when I saw him walking on the course. The McMetz is decent, but you need a big combo to get anywhere in Winter X Games 9.
And he's no stranger. He has a medal from 2 years ago. And right there, you're looking at Chuck Carruthers, who's getting set to go. And Dane Kinnaird will be waiting for his score to come in. The snow is still falling here, Tess. It's going to make it even more difficult for these riders as the night goes on. So I think it's important to get your jump in early. Maybe these guys that are waiting for the second one aren't going to get it. 83 coming in, so 6th place. He's breaking in. He's He's knocked Renner out of that bubble position. He is now on the bubble position, but the man with the gold medal from Summer X is coming up next, and that is Chuck Carruthers. So we'll get a look at him here in just a second, setting into the starting gate. There he is, the guy formerly known as Hucka Chuck, now known as Gold Medal Chuck. He has proved that big tricks bring big rewards. At the 2004 Summer X Games, Chuck Carruthers came in an unknown. The rumor of the body burial following him around, complete separation and the twist. He got back on for X Games gold. Now he is the favorite here at Winter. Log on right now for the EXPN.com instant poll and vote on what trick is more likely to win in Moto X. Is it the body burial or is it the backflip combination? Well, Chuck Carruthers is in the chute, and I talked to him just before the event. It's his girlfriend watching on. He told me he wasn't happy with the 45-foot jump, which is where he does his trick. Are we going to see him go for it here tonight?
Remember, he's only done this once before, and it was at Summer X Games. This is Chuck coming out. He doesn't like it. He said it's got a double kick on the face. Let's see what he brings.
Chuck teasing us a little bit, maybe using it for practice. You saw how he did it. He grabbed the left grab handle, which is cut out underneath the shaved down seat. That's how they do it in freestyle motocross. And he throws the super can, which is a can off to the side, but grabbing the handle. Normally, he would continue to twist around. Tess, what happened?
I think, as you said, he's using this for practice. He has that huge piece of grip tape on his seat. You can see the green thing he's hanging onto there. That's AstroTech. It's actually a surfboard grip tape that you use when you're out in the water. But Chuck is trying everything he possibly can to make this trick work. He's wearing a cup. He's wearing body armor. He's got all of that grip tape. He needs to get this trick.
Well, Chuck Carruthers is going to be disappointed, and I highly doubt that's going to move him into that top 6 transfer position, which Dane Canary, as we talked about, was on the bubble. Remember, he needs a 90-41 to take the lead, but it's going to be tough for Chuck. Let's see what happens, and he is in last place. So from gold, he goes all the way down. He's in last place right now. Remember, run number 2 will be coming up a little bit later on, and what a crazy night it has been in Freestyle Moto X. This is your leader, Jeff Cargola. He sets on top of the leaderboard. Remember, run number 2 is coming up soon, and the best one is the one that counts.